Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, good to be back with you again. We got 1908 action for you. We got the New York Giants at the Boston Doves. Giants are actually are they in third place? They are in third place, 9-4, and they're in third place. So it tells you how good the Cubs and Pirates are so far. It'll be Roger Bresnahan, who barely missed any games despite the fact he was a catcher. We have him hitting leadoff. Got to say that quietly so that thunder doesn't come down, lightning from the skies, and strikes me down on the spot. He rolls a 44 for a 7, and that's a base hit. Now you know why we have him hitting leadoff. That'll bring up Mike Dahlen, and of course, as always, we'll take a quick look over here and see. Now we don't have that 11. We're probably not going to hit and run with him, not this early. Dahlen up there rolls a 52 for a 27. That's going to be a little ground ball over to third base. Sweeney has it, flips over to Richie at second for the force out, but they cannot complete the double play. One out, and here is Spike Shannon. We'll put it on for Mike Dahlen. And he rolls a 51 for a 9, and that's going to be a little ground ball over to Dahlen at short, makes the play, throws to first for the out. Dahlen, of course, moves up to second base, 2 outs, and he's the runner on at second. Fred Tenney now, he rolls a 23 for a 29. That's a little ground ball over to McGann, who flips over to Dorner, covering at first. We go to the bottom of the first, and here is Claude Ritchie. Richard rolls a 36 for a 33. That's a pop-up over to second base. It's going to be Doyle who has it for the out, one away. Frank Bowerman now. Bowerman hitting only 188. Not sure I'm hitting him second, but he rolls a 66 anyway for a 0 and responds with a 35 for a 6. Now, Joe McGinnity has an M. Let's see what this is. Now the rolls a 42 out of the range, so it ends up just being a double there for Bowerman. He'll be the runner on a second base with only 1 out here, bottom of the first. Johnny Bates now with the chance to drive him in. He rolls a 54 for a 45. There's a little E to worry about. 25 is outside the range. That's a little fly ball over to right field. Dahlen's got it for the out, 2 away, and here's Ginger Beaumont, who rolls a 54 for a 45. Another little E. It's a 53 out of the range. That's another fly ball, this time over to center field. Seymour has it for the out. We go to the top of the second. It's going to be Art Devlin up here, top of the second. Devlin rolls a 64 for a 13 and strikes out, 1 away. Here's Al Bridwell. Rolls a 26 for a 30. Fly ball over to left field. Brown has it for the out, 2 away. And here's Cy Seymour. Seymour rolls a 36 for a 14. He'll take his base. He's the runner on at first. And here comes Larry Doyle. Doyle rolls a 42 for a 9. That's going to be a base hit against Dorner, who's only a B. And that'll bring up Joe McGinnity. Runners on at first and second, 2 outs. Here's the Iron Man. And he rolls a 46 for 13. Strikes out. We go to the bottom of the second. It'll be Bill Dahlen here for Boston again against McGinnity. Dahlen rolls a 26 for a 13 and strikes out, 1 away. Here's Dan McGann. McGann rolls a 32 for a 26. Ground ball over to second base, and it's going to be, let's see, where are we? Doyle, there you are, for the making the put out, throwing over to first for the out, 2 away. Just notice that McGinnity has 18 strikeouts, only 4 walks so far this season. George Brown rolls a 64 for a 13 and strikes out, make that 19 strikeouts. Go to the top of the third, and here's Roger Bresnahan once again. Had a hit last time up, hitting 370. And he rolls a 13 for a 14 and takes his base. That'll be good for that average. Nobody out. Here's Mike Dahlen. Dahlen rolls a 25 for a 10. That'll be a single, sends Bresnahan to third, and then Dahlen's able to steal second. And so Giants have something going here, top of the third, and it'll be Spike Shannon. And I think we will have him swing away. We'll bring the infield in. We'll have him swing away. It took me a while to decide, and it's a good thing we did. He rolls a 55 for a 9. That's a little fly ball over to right field. It's going to be Bates who makes the catch, but Bresnahan's able to tag up and score. 1 out, and here's Fred Tenney, again with the runner on at first base, and so we will hit the infield in. That's what we wanted to do. And the roll is a 13 for a 14, and there's a walk, and so Dorner's kind of digging his own grave, as here is Art Devlin. 3 walks given up already by the Braves. We're only in the top of the third. Devlin rolls a 56 for a 34, and here comes that little E roll. And it's a 21 inside the range. That changes it to 15, and that's going to be an error there on the left fielder, Brown. That allows Tenney moves up to second base, and the runner scores 2-0 now for the Giants, and here comes Al Bridwell. This is one of the reasons why you have to bunt early if you're going to bunt, because we're already getting close to the point where it doesn't make sense to bunt anymore. Bridwell up there rolls a 36 for a 14, takes his base, and that loads the bases here for Cy Seymour, with still the base only 1 out, I was going to say. Let's try to bunt with Seymour. Let's see what happens. And he rolls a 55 for an 8, and that's going to be a little bunt down the left side. And it's going to be Sweeney who grabs that, throws over to Ritchie, covering at the first for the out, his only play, and the run scores. It's now 3-0 Giants, and here comes Larry Doyle. So that bunt did work. Doyle now, and I'll adjust this a little bit. Doyle rolls a 51 for an 8, and that's going to be a fly ball over there to Beaumont in center field for the third out. 3-0 though Giants. We go to the bottom of the third. Bill Sweeney up there now rolls a 43 for a 29. That is a comebacker over to McGinnity. Throws to first for the out, one away. Gus Dorner now. Dorner rolls a 46 for a 13, and that's 20 strikeouts now for McGinnity this season. 2 outs. Here's Claude Ritchie. Ritchie rolls a 42 for a 14. There's a walk given up by Joe. Only his 5th walk given up this season. And here comes Frank Bowerman again. He rolls this time a 16 for a 26. That's a ground ball over to second baseman Doyle. Flips over to Bridwell covering at the second base bag. We go to the top of the 4th. These are fast games. Joe McGinnity now rolls a 54 for a 45. And here's the little E roll. It's a 31 out of the range. That's a fly ball over to right field. Bates has it for the out, one away. Here's Roger Bresnahan. He rolls an 11 for a 0, and we go double column hunting, and then a 41 for a 7. And so that's a base hit for Bresnahan. Only the 4th hit of the game for the Giants. Feels like they've had more. Here comes Mike Dahlen. Dahlen rolls a 54 for a 45. It's a fly ball to right field. Bates has it for the out, 2 away. Spike Shannon now. He rolls a 33 for an 8, and that'll be a ground ball over to third base. Sweeney has it. Throws to first for the out. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Johnny Bates up there now for the Doves, the Braves. He rolls a 12 for a 24. It's a ground ball over to Bridwell. Makes the play from shortstop. Throws to first for the out. One away. Ginger Beaumont now. Beaumont rolls a 34 for a 44. There's always a little lead roll. It's a 55 out of the range. That's a fly ball over to center field. Seymour has it for the out, 2 away. Here's Bill Dahlen. He rolls a 66 for a 0, and his next roll, 45 for a 6. There's that chance for a home run again off of McGinnity. We roll both dice together, and it's a 12. Here's the second chance, and let's see what happens. And this is a 33, and that's going to be a home run for Bill Dahlen. Makes this a 3-1 ball game. Only the second hit of the game for the Doves off of McGinnity, and it happens to be a home run. 3-1 now the score. Dan McGann up there. He rolls a 61 for a 37, changed to 40. That's the foul. That's going to be a strike. And then he rolls a 34 for a 44. That's a fly ball over to Seymour in center field. Makes it for the out. We go to the top of the 5th, and it's Fred Tenney. Tenney rolls a 15 for a 10. He gets the base hit. There's a single. Hit number 5 for the Giants, and that brings up Art Devlin. This is a great lineup. Devlin rolls a 44 for an 8, and that's a little ground ball over to third baseman Sweeney. Throws over to first for the out. Tenney moves up to second. One away. Al Bridwell now. Bridwell rolls a 63 for a 30. He wants a fly ball over to center field. Beaumont has it for the out, and Tenney, who's fast, is able to advance to third base on that. That'll bring up Cy Seymour here with 2 outs, runner on third. And he rolls a 21 for a 30. That'll be a fly ball over to Brown in left field for the third out. We go to the bottom of the 5th, and here comes Brown. Brown rolls a 61 for a 32, and that's a fly ball over to right field. Donlin this time has it for the out, one away. Bill Sweeney's up next. Sweeney rolls a 15 for an 11. That's a single, and then a stolen base as he steals second, and that'll bring up Gus Dorner, who's obviously going to bunt here. Dorner, the pitcher, rolls a 23 for a 32. That's a good bunt. That's a bunt down the right side. Tenney has it, flips over to Doyle covering at first. Sweeney moves over to third base, and there's 2 outs now for Claude Ritchie. Ritchie rolls a 53 for a 19, and that's changed to a 20, and that's going to be a single through the infield, which was deep, which is what it should have been, and that means Ritchie ends up on at first base. And it's a 3-2 ball game, just like that. Close game now, and here's Frank Bowerman. Bowerman rolls a 61 for a 22, gets hit by the pitch by McGinnity, and he's on at first base. Ritchie moves up to second, and that'll bring up Johnny Bates. Still 2 out here, 3-2 ball game, bottom of the 5th. And Bates rolls a 21 for a 30. That's a fly ball over to left field. Shannon has it for the out. We go to the top of the 6th. It'll be Larry Doyle. Doyle gets up there and rolls a 36 for a 33. That's a pop-up over behind second base, and Ritchie has it for the out, one away. Joe McGinnity now. McGinnity rolls a 21 for a 13. He strikes out. That's strikeout number 3 there for Dorner. 2 away, and here's Roger Bresnahan. He rolls a 52. That's right, 52 for a 27. I have to look again. I'm forgetting here. That's a ground ball over to Sweeney. Makes the play, throws to first for the out. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and it is Ginger Beaumont again. A fast-moving game, 3-2 Giants, but here come the Doves. And Beaumont rolls a 41 for a 28. That's a ground ball to Bridwell. Makes the play and throws to first for the out. One away. Bill Dahlen rolls a 14 for a 43. That's a fly ball over to left field. Shannon has it for the out, 2 away. And here's Dan McGann. He rolls a 31 for a 9. There's a little pop-up behind third base. Devlin has it for the out. We go to the top of the 7th. This will bring up Mike Donlin here, top of the 7th inning. 3-2 Giants. Donlin rolls a 31 for an 8, and that's a single, but he's caught stealing. Could have always put that no-steal attempt during a plate appearance on, but I'm not going to do that. Most of the time I won't. You know that. Spike Shannon now with 1 out, rolls a 33 for an 8. That's a single to left center field, and that'll bring up Fred Tenney. Runner on at first, 7 hits now for the Giants in this game. Tenney rolls a 12 for a 24, and that's going to be a little ground ball over to Dahlen, who makes the play, flips over to Ritchie for one, on to McGann at first for the double play. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's George Brown up there now for the Doves. Brown rolls a 36 for a 33. That's a pop-up over to second base, and Doyle has it for the out, one away. Here's Bill Sweeney. Sweeney rolls a 51 for a 9. That's a single over shortstop for a base hit. That'll bring up Gus Dorner now with the runner on at first. Dorner, again, of course, going to bunt. He rolls a 65 for a 35, and there is a little E roll. 35 is not good if you're bunting. It's a 32 out of the range, and that's a bunt, and Dorner will make it safe at first, but that's a bunt that goes down to the catcher, Bresnahan, who throws over to short to Bridwell for the force out, so the bunt fails. 2 away now, and here's Claude Ritchie with a runner on first. And Ritchie rolls a 55 for an 8. That's a single, and that will send Dorner all the way over to third base because remember, he's fast. McGinnity's starting to fall apart now. 3-2 ball game. This is a clutch moment of this ball game. Here is Frank Bowerman, and he rolls a 64 for a 13, and that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 4 for McGinnity. We go to the top of the 8th inning, no damage done. Still 3-2 Giants, and that'll bring up Art Devlin. Let's see if the Giants can put a couple more runs on. Devlin up there rolls a 36 for a 32. Fly ball over to right field. Bates has it for the out. One away. Here's Al Bridwell. He rolls a 12 for a 24. And there is a little E chance, as always. It's rolls a 46. That ends up being just a little ground ball over to Dahlen at short. Makes the play and throws to first for the out. 2 away, and here's Cy Seymour. He rolls a 43 for a 29. That's a comebacker to Dorner. Throws over to first for the out. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and it'll be Johnny Bates. And he rolls a 16 for a 26, and that's a little ground ball over to Doyle at second. Makes the play and throws to first for the out, one away. Here is Ginger Beaumont. He rolls a 13 for a 14, and that'll be a walk. So McGinnity's given up 2 walks now, 6 walk given up in the season against 21 strikeouts. Pitched pretty well so far. Bill Dahlen now with that runner on at first, and we're going to do some hit and run action. Ooh, and he rolls a 66 for a 0, and then a 33 for a 1. And I'm not sure why I'm getting the possible double increase to a home run here. If that was a 1, that's interesting. 51 is the roll, and that will end up being a double. That's interesting. That's the first time I've ever seen a 33 that was supposed to be a 1 turn into a double. I'm not entirely certain that I fully understand what's going on here. So we will take a little screenshot of this and sort of explain what happened. But yeah, the initial roll was a 66, and the secondary roll was a 33. Doesn't really matter. Could have been the other way around, 33 and then 66, but I'm pretty sure it was 66 and then 33. The result was a 1, and it ended up being a double, despite the fact that McGinnity has an M. So, I mean, go figure. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but that is definitely not what I was expecting to see. And so we'll see what happens. This might actually be one that gets me to send an email over to Cyrus and try to figure this one out because this is a little bit strange. That's the first time I've ever seen that happen. So maybe there's something going on behind the scenes that I don't fully know, but usually a 1 is a home run no matter what, or has to become not a home run. Dan McGann up there now, runner on second base, tie ball game, and really should be the Doves in the lead, but it'll be all right. Dan McGann rolls a 45 for a 14, and he walks and takes his base, and now it's really starting to fall apart here for Joe McGinnity. The Iron Man doesn't look quite as iron solid as he did back in the good old days when he was with Brooklyn. And so runners on at first and second now, and that was McGann, and this will bring up Brown. Runners on at first and second, and there's only 1 out, and I'm going to take a look. McGinnity comes up in the top of the 9th, so I think we're going to have him try to pitch out the rest of this inning. The question is, do you swing away with Brown? Do you bunt with Brown? What does Sweeney look like? Sweeney looks a little bit better than Brown. Maybe we do bunt with him. Let's see what happens here. So runners on at first and second, 1 out, bottom of the 8th inning. And the roll's a 41 for a 28, which is a good bunt. That's a bunt over to Devlin on the left side. Throws over to Tenney, the first baseman, at first, and that will advance the runners over to second and third. And so just like that, we have runners over at second and third now with 2 outs here, and that has set the stage let's see here. That has set the stage here for Sweeney and for a real chance to do something. Tie ball game, bottom of the 8th inning, and this is about as exciting as it gets. So the Doves almost came back, as you'll recall, in the bottom of the 7th inning, and then here in the bottom of the 8th inning, they've actually made it happen. And here comes Bill Sweeney, and we're going to keep McGinnity in this ball game. Runners at second and third, 2 outs, and let's see if Joe can get him out. The roll's a 13 for a 14. That's going to be a walk, and that will load the bases. And now is the time for the armchair umpire. I'll tell you, now is the time for the armchair umpire, because you've got to figure out what would you have done here. What would you have done here? What would you do now? Would you pinch hit for the pitcher who's been pitching fairly well in this game, or do you allow the pitcher to swing away? So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I want to play for the win, even though we're at home. I want to play for this win, and so we're going to take Dorner out of this, and we'll worry about whatever we have to worry about when we have to worry about it. Put in Peaches Graham or Joe Kelly. I'm pretty sure we would put in Joe Kelly in this situation. Kelly probably should actually be starting, but that's another controversy for another day. Bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning. We did have a little bit of strangeness with the game beforehand. I tell you that one result should have been a home run. And I'll take a look at the boards afterwards, see what we can figure out. Here's Joe Kelly, and the roll is a 53 for a 17. That's changed to a 21. That is an error on Tenney, and that will allow the run to score. And so Kelly, as a pinch hitter, is able to get the roll and get something good to happen. And this game has been completely turned on its head. I thought that the Giants were really in control of this one for a while, and now they are down 4-3. And here is Claude Ritchie. Claude Ritchie up there rolls a 25 for an 8, and that's another single, and that's going to probably spell the end for Joe McGinnity. And, boy, this is really, really taking a turn for him. That single scores 2 runners now on first and third, and that is quite a comeback. That's one of the more impressive comebacks I think I've seen so far. That'll bring up Frank Bowerman, and that's going to be the end of the game here for McGinnity. And we can probably do this without looking too close. Yeah, we're going to put some of this malarkey in there. So Malarkey comes in. Bill Malarkey comes in to pitch against Frank Bowerman. 6-3 now Doves. And the chances of the Giants coming back are pretty slim. Remember, this is 1908. And 56 is the roll for Bowerman, which gives us a 34. That's a little pop-up over to Tenney behind first base. And we go to the top of the 9th inning. And so pitching now, who are we going to go with? Yeah, we're probably going to go with this guy. Irv Young is going to be the new pitcher here for the Braves. He will face Larry Doyle, then a pinch hitter. Doyle up there rolls a 66 for a 0, and then the next roll is a 26 for a 6, and he'll double over to right center field. That'll bring up Bill Malarkey, and Malarkey's not going to hit for himself. We'll put Fred Merkle in there. Merkle comes in there. He's 0 for 2 plate appearances so far this year, no hits at all. And he rolls a 52 for a 27. That's a little ground ball over to third base. Sweeney has it and looks Doyle back and throws to first for the out, 1 away. Here's Roger Bresnahan. Bresnahan rolls a 41 for a 28. That's a ground ball this time to shortstop. Dahlen has it, makes the play and throws over to first for the out, 2 away. And it's Mike Donlin. And Donlin, I don't know if you probably can't see that. He rolls a 53 for a 15. And that's 16 is what that changes to. That's going to be a single to center field. And it is the center fielder Beaumont who makes the play, throws all the way home over to Bowerman, and he makes the tag for the out, and that does it. 6-3, the final score, final out thrown out of the play, but it wasn't exactly the tying run or anything. Man, I hope you enjoyed that one. That was kind of an odd game with a real odd comeback by the Doves. 6-3, the final score. And so the Giants still are having a hard time really making it happen here in 1908, and I will talk with you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.